think I'm here. Yeah, baby. Congratulations for tuning in to me. I'm back and I'm ready to address some stupidity, some dumb tweets, but also just, just, just people being dicks. Just not. They need to stop that, and they need to instead be nice people. I feel like the world would be a much better place. Turns out the world would be a better place if everyone was just nice people, rather than the dickheads that they are. There's so many dickheads. But to begin with, I think we should focus on the king of the dickheads, Jordan Peterson. Damn it, that was supposed to be such a good transition. Hold on. Let me get. Here we go. Hold on. I'll try that again. So to begin with, I think that we should focus on the king of the dickheads, Jordan Peterson. There we go. That worked. Excuse me. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. That's not fun. I was hanging out with my friends last night. They have a cat, and I love him so much. His name's Tig. But he gives me the allergies, and I've run out of antihistamines, I think. Hold on. Oh my god. Salvation. Oh, tiny white pills save me from this madness. Oh. Okay, that should help. Probably not before the end of the stream, though. Okay, Jordan Peterson. Okay, so Jordan Peterson was flagged on YouTube for hate speech. I only just found this out this morning, so I'm not. I haven't actually read. I had read a little bit of it, but fun live reaction time. So this is on the Enough Jordan. I keep doing this. Jordan Peterson, Enough Jordan Peterson spam subreddit, in which people make fun of Jordan Peterson, which is great. I'm here for it. Jordan gets flagged for hate speech. He says YouTube has violated the ancient dictum, do not use the Lord's name in vain, which he then reinterprets and gives a new meaning to. Okay, so here we go. First thing, this is him. Here we go. This is him tweeting about his oh geez. This one moved. There we go. Yeah. This is him tweeting about his violation of the hate speech policy. This needs to happen more. Excuse me, I'm going to be sniffing a lot. It's funny because it's like, I mean, he goes and says, I have officially been accused of hate speech by YouTube. Let's be clear about this. This is a direct accusation, conduct deemed criminal in many jurisdictions. This is absolutely not okay, YouTube. Not okay. He seems to be implying that YouTube is accusing him of a crime or something, when they're not. They have their own. This is the thing. This happens this has been happening since the beginning of the free speech. I'm being cancelled nonsense thing, where people say awful shit, or they they engage in some sort of bigotry, racism, transphobia, or something, and then when their content gets pulled from the site, they complain. They say, my free speech is being censored. I'm having my free speech taken away. You're not. You've just violated the terms of service of the platform that you're operating on, Which, you'd think that these people who are all for, free markets and capitalism and all that sort of nonsense, they would understand and be okay with. This is a free market. This is a privately owned business, and it doesn't want your brand of hateful bullshit on their thing. This is violating their hate speech policy. It's not violating, they're not saying that it violates hate speech laws somewhere. Jordan, learn to read. Jordan, look at me, Jordan. Learn to read. Jordan Peterson, learn to read, you fucking piece of shit. That was my Jordan Peterson song. Damn it, sniffling noise. I quite like that. I'm going to try that again. This is my Jordan Peterson song. Jordan Peterson, learn to read, you fucking piece of shit. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Anyway, Jordan Peterson, learn to read. So you're not... YouTube isn't saying that you've violated some hate speech law. They're saying that you violated their hate speech policy, which they make very clear. Okay, so let's go to the next thing where he continues to ramble. I love this. I love this picture here behind my face. This Jordan is Jesus. Oh my god. Okay. I am also accused, as you can all see, of inciting violence. To say I am tired of being accused in this manner by narcissistic authoritarians is to say almost nothing. This societal trend being could easily end badly. Such accusers are doing nothing but attempting to accrue reputation, at least in their own eyes, without doing any of the valid work that such reputation genuinely requires. Oh my god, Jordan. The lack of fucking self-awareness. My god. They're doing nothing but attempting to accrue reputation, at least in their eyes, without doing any of the valid work which getting that reputation requires. Jordan, the only reason you're famous is because you were transphobic. My god. Like, literally, you were just some fucking loser professor guy at some university, and then you refused to call people by their preferred pronouns, and then you went viral, and then a whole bunch of transphobes were like, we love this guy, he's the king, like Jesus, he's like Jesus, because he was transphobic, and he continues to be transphobic. My god, Jesus Christ. I'm begging you, Jordan Peterson, please gain some self-awareness. This will actually factor into one of the things that I'm going to look at in a second, because this is... Okay. It's a violation of the ancient dictum, do not use the Lord's name in vain. Translation, do not claim moral motivations when acting for narrowly self-serving purposes. That, along with pride, is the cardinal sin of our time. I covered the pride thing last time. The pride in the 10 Commandments. I want to say that it's a 10 Commandment, or maybe it's a cardinal sin. I can't remember. I don't fucking care. But the pride that they're talking about in the religious setting is not the same as pride. Words can have two different meanings. I'm sorry to say, you fucking weirdo. So I believe in the same situation. Do not use the Lord's name in vain. Translation, do not claim moral motivations when acting for narrowly self-serving purposes. So I think what he's trying to say is that YouTube are acting in narrowly self-serving purposes. That, the company YouTube that's trying to make money are acting in self-serving purposes. Yes, that makes sense. That's that's what happens under capitalism, Jordan. And do not claim. So do not. How is this? How is this the Lord's name in vain? What the fuck are you talking about? It's a violation of the. Do not take the Lord's name. I can't tell if he. It's a violation of. I can't tell if he's trying to say that the ancient dictum of taking the Lord's name in vain is a good thing, or if it. Your tweet makes no sense, Jordan. Jordan, your tweet makes no sense. What the fuck are you talking about, Jordan Peterson? That was bad. Okay, next. That was Peterson. What do you? Oh, yeah. So this is okay. Okay. So someone on the Jordan Peterson subreddit posted this video. So this is a subreddit dedicated to standing for Jordan Peterson, just being a big old fan, and sucking his dick till the end of time. And this person posted this video saying, therapist gives example of what a narcissist is like. Again, the lack of self-awareness in these people. Well, in this case, I don't think it's lack of self-awareness, but it's the lack of awareness of what the fuck Jordan Peterson was all about. Anyway, so let's just watch this.
Was an angry, after I finished my psychiatry training, was an angry mid-30s guy with a narcissistic personality. And people with narcissism or narcissistic personality often have a big chip on their shoulders. They have a lot of envy and resentment and so on and so forth.
Okay, so people with narcissistic personality disorders often have a lot of envy and big chips on their shoulders. Jordan.
In spite of the grandiosity which tries to fend that off.
In spite of the grandiosity that tries to fend that off. If anyone has fucking grandiose fucking anyone who engages in this ridiculous grandiose rhetoric is Jordan. That's what he does. He's all the time. He thinks that he is fucking God's gift.
In sessions, I was used to his being very critical of everything I said and finding me stupid and so on and so forth. That goes with the territory. But in one...
Okay, so there's that as well, where they go ahead and think that the therapy. I mean, I'm not sure if this is necessarily directed right towards like a person of authority or whatever, but Peterson is always demeaning and calling people stupid, pathological, liars and butchers and all this sort of nonsense. It's his whole fucking brand.
In session, he was telling me a story about when he was a child and his parents did something that was really insensitive and mean, and it brought tears to my eyes, which isn't what one generally does as a therapist, but it happens once in a while. So he looked at me and he said, "You have tears in your eyes?" So I said, "Yes." And he scrutinized me and he leaned forward and said, "You're mocking me." So that's where his personality interfered with his ability to interact with the outside world. He took what most people would find clear evidence of sympathy or empathy and turned it into the opposite. That's what we call the distortions based on personality disorder. In other words, the internal images one has of self and other may not correspond so well to the external reality, and people live more in response to their internal images than to what's really going on around them.
I feel like that's a perfect example of a perfect description of Jordan Peterson. Just living in a goddamn fantasy world, thinking everyone's out to get them. Turning stories and what's the word? Demonstrations of solidarity and love and respect and things like this. I'm talking about in the sense of like pride and trans ideology and all that sort of stuff, turning that into some nefarious scheme. I mean, I don't know if Jordan Peterson is a narcissist, but I just found it very funny that someone on the it's so hard to say, Jordan Peterson subreddit would post this and not go, wait, is that, is he describing Jordan Peterson? It's kind of, it's pretty close. It's pretty goddamn close. Anyway, I thought that was very funny. Anyway, next, here we go. So this meme has been floating around for a while, but also this interaction with this meme has been floating around for a couple of days on Reddit, which is kind of funny. But so there's this meme here, which just looks like the sweatiest, fucking smuggliest goddamn group of people I've ever seen in my life. You got Shapiro over here, just looking like Ben Shapiro, look at me, and then you've got Elon Musk looking even fucking smugger, if that's a word. Jordan Peterson looking as bland as he always does. Andrew Tate here again, looking just like a fucking smug piece of shit, because he is. He's a rapist and a sex trafficker. So there's that. You got Trump here, looking nothing like Trump, because they always make him like thin and attractive when he's neither of those things. And then you've got Joe Rogan over here. And then I don't know who these people on the back are, I'm afraid. I don't know, this guy looks like Ben Affleck. And I think this kind of looks like Abe Lincoln, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, you've got all these people around this table. And like I say, this meme has been floating around in various what's the word, iterations, and people putting different titley thingies on it. It's just like the most bootlickiest nonsense I've ever seen in my life. And so this particular one was posted, $10 million or the chance to wait at this table. So whoever posted this is just like, they think this is a real choice. Like, how is it a tough decision to go, I've been offered $10 million. $10 million. I've been offered $10 million. That is enough money to make me never have to worry about money ever again. I could buy anything I want. I'd be financially secure for the rest of my life. There's that. Or I could fucking wait the table of these sweaty, smelly, smug pieces of shit. And do what? Like probably be like demeaned and laughed at and treated like a fucking like an ant. Because all of these people are. Is my thing showing up? Oh no, it is. Okay, good. Sorry, I was just looking at the stream over here, and it looked like the background wasn't showing up, but it is. It's all good. It's all good live. What am I saying? Yeah, you being able to wait at this table. It just like the thought that would be anything that anyone would want. It reeks of the most bootlicky nonsense I've ever heard in my life. Like, none of these people would care or even probably look at you twice. Yeah. Anyway, so the right can't meme. The right can't meme, which is a subreddit. Linked to this saying, I guarantee no one at this table has ever tipped more than 5%. Which probably true. Also, probably they don't even fucking eat at restaurants or anything like that where they need to tip. They're probably I don't know how this sort of shit works in America. But anyway, and then so the left can't meme, which is again one of the subreddits containing the stupidest people on the planet. The subreddit that complains about tipping the most, much more than anti-work, calls Joe Rogan and Elon Musk cheap. Yes, they are cheap. Of course they are. They're fucking billionaires. That's what they do. I mean, Rogan probably isn't a billionaire. Maybe he is. I don't know. Well, he's probably getting close. If he's not. But yes, I guarantee they're cheap. And they're also billionaires. So why are we standing for them? It blows my mind that anyone would fucking... but yeah, tipping is bad. The tipping culture is bad because it gives restaurants the license to underpay their workers. If the tipping was happening on top of like a normal living wage, then that would be great. But it's not. It's happening instead of that, and people are having to, the restaurant doesn't pay their workers, and it's the paying of the workers goes to the people who eat at the restaurant. It's fucked up. It's absolute nonsense. It's exploitative. Anyway, next, it's a vote. I wanted to respond to this because I thought that this was kind of a I don't know. It's a question. So this is the Jordan Peterson subreddit. How does one respond to the statement, I am more woman than you because I am a woman by choice and you are a woman by coincidence? I can't seem to find the TikTok where I heard this. Could have been deleted, but it shook me up a bit. How are you even supposed to reply to something like that? Potentially you're not, but it does. I think that it's a pretty valid statement, and it speaks to a little bit of frustration from a trans person, which fair enough, because but I think you're the person here asking this question. We don't have the original TikTok, so it's kind of hard to say, but the implication here is that yes, when you are born, a doctor looks at your crotch and goes, boy or girl, and that's it. You're assigned a gender based on that, and then that is the way that your parents treat you. It depends. If your parents are woke, they might try to not impose those gender roles as strictly as some more traditional people might. So if you're assigned that gender at birth, and then your parents are a bit more traditional in the way that they operate, they might glom onto that gender assignment and reinforce those gender norms through the way that they raise you, and so you're essentially you've become a woman by coincidence, or a man by coincidence, and then you've got this I am a woman because I am a woman by choice. Now I take issue a little bit with the choice part, because sure, there's decision involved. There's decisions to do with with opposing a lot of like gender norms and choosing to transition and things like that, and choosing to acknowledge the fact that you were assigned a gender which doesn't correspond with your internal gender, things like this. So there are a lot of decisions involved, but I think ultimately when it comes down to it, it's not a choice. You are what you are. I've always been non-binary. I just didn't have the words for it, I suppose. And I think you'll find that a lot of trans people will say the same thing. They've always been the gender that they now identify as. It's not that they just chose to be that. What they chose to do is, come to understand and accept that the gender they were assigned at birth is not congruous with the gender that they actually are, and then have taken steps to to start affirming that in various ways. So I take issue a little bit with the "I'm a woman by choice" thing, but again, this is just a little quippy. Or to be fair, this might not have actually been what the person said. This Jordan Peterson fan may have twisted it in a certain way, maybe not on purpose. But the idea that being trans is a choice is definitely a misnomer that gets bandied round, and especially on the right with people who don't really care to understand this stuff properly. So person who posted this, Nordic Moose, this is my response to you. I hope that, if you are asking this in genuine, what's the word? Genuine curiosity, out of genuine curiosity, then, then I hope that helps. But if not, then why are you even asking the question? Because, you can ask a question. No. There was one more thing I was going to say. Yeah, I think I think that the question itself as well is potentially posed in a bit of frustration from the trans person, which I think is valid. I think that it's difficult to live as a trans person, especially currently, especially in America at the moment, where you've got so much pushback, reactionary nonsense against just the very existence of trans people. So when you get things like this, like taken in a vacuum, maybe it's a little bit snarky, or maybe it's a little bit offensive to cis women or whatever. But like when you understand the context of the whole thing, when you've got trans people living in a world where they're constantly being attacked and undermined, their whole identity and being is being attacked on a daily basis. You've got people out here basically calling LGBTQ people pedophiles and groomers and all this sort of shit, and trying to change the law so that being trans is basically illegal. When you take that into account, of course trans people are going to be, some people are going to take it out in a little bit of a snarky way. Evidenced. So, but I don't think that Jordan Peterson fans really understand that sort of contextual nuance. So, yes. Anyway, so there you go. There's my response to that. Gender studies. So yeah, this is kind of here. No surprises there. The tolerant left has no tolerant diversity. Wait, hold on. Diversity of thought. No tolerance for diversity of thought. Sorry, I was just reading the top comment there. I think it's pretty funny. So this is on the Job and subreddit. Gender studies professor brags about failing students who offend her woke gender beliefs. It's always really funny. I find it very funny when you read the titles of these things, because they often have no. They're just like the what's the word? They are being interpreted in the least favorable light possible. And it exposes how much fucking hacks these people are. So I found an article. Oh my god. Let's put that back. I found an article that. Oh yeah. Well, so first of all, this person comments. No surprises there. The tolerant left does not tolerate diversity of thought. I think we'll find that is nonsense. We don't tolerate bigotry. We don't tolerate. The perpetuation of systemic injustice, which actively harms and marginalizes people. Not okay with that, but I don't know why anyone would be. So let's have a little read, have a little peruse of what actually happened here. So this I'll get my fucking mug out of the way. There we go. Put me over here. A lot to handle. The UC professor at the center of TikTok controversy speaks out. So here we go. This is the professor. Melanie Rose, never expected to be at the center of a TikTok controversy. The adjunct professor in Women's, Gender and Sexuality Studies Department at the University of Cincinnati is the former instructor of Olivia Krolsky. Krolsky is a student who created a viral TikTok in which she denounced her professor, unnamed in the video, for giving her a failed grade on an assignment because Krolsky used the term biological woman. The video has been covered by the New York Post, News Nation, and Fox News, and the incident offered a platter of America's cultural war issues, gender rights, transgender rights, free speech, and leftist professors. In an interview with the Inquirer at a cafe in the city's Oakley neighborhood, Nipper, great name, said that she cried when she watched the video and saw the ensuing publicity. It's a lot, right? Nipper said. It's a lot to handle. In the TikTok, Groldsky alleged that she was given a failing grade on a proposal for her gender in pop culture course. She planned to write a paper on which she would argue that trans athletes competing in women's sports were taking opportunities away from biological women. Okay, so let's just pause for a second. So, this, there's so many layers here. So this fucking cis white woman, Krolsky, was in a gender sexuality, woman, gender and sexuality studies class, I suppose, and they, in a gender and pop culture course, they proposed they submitted a proposal in which they wanted to write about how trans athletes are taking away opportunities from cis women, from biological women. Now, and was given a failing grade for this one proposal. And this is the thing is, if we scroll down a little bit, she says that she didn't. Smug piece of shit. She didn't fail the whole course. She failed that one proposal. Now, and now she's gone on to look. This TikTok here has 400,000 likes. This seems to be the easiest grift I've ever seen in my life. You just got to go somewhere where like gender studies is like a thing, and then say some transphobic bullshit, and then receive the slightest amount of pushback, and then create a TikTok complaining that you've been censored, that your free speech has been taken away. My God, this person will be on Fox News in no time. They'll be and they'll be getting fucking book signing deals and shit like that. This person will be set for life. This Krolsky person will be able to milk this endlessly. It's absolutely ridiculous. So hold on, an interview with the Inquirer. Okay, biological woman. By the way, biological woman in this context is just it's a fucking dog whistle. It's a transphobic dog whistle. It's the term used by all these far right pieces of shit to what's the word? I say that a lot. What's the word? To shit all over trans people. It's part of a transphobic project to marginalize, dehumanize, and disenfranchise trans people. If you're using the term biological woman, this is the thing, is you need to think about the context of what you're doing. And then she's also talking about doing this paper on how biological women are having their opportunities taken away by trans athletes. I mean, that's a huge part of the transphobic project. It just is. So either this person knew that and is actively trying to spread transphobic nonsense, or they, are genuinely interested in that, maybe, or it doesn't seem likely. Um, and so I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I would not be surprised if this person was a member of something like Turning Points USA or something like that, and they were doing this on purpose, to to expose leftist professors or some shit like that. I wouldn't be surprised. Acting like a piece of shit. It's that meme. It's that. Hold on. It's this. I peed my pants. It's this. It's totally this. It is totally this. It's just this person. You can see here. See, they peed their pants and everyone laughed, and then the person's going, ha ha ha, rent free. It's acting like a piece of shit, and then being like, oh, and then getting a whole bunch of attention. That's all it is. Anyway, so here we go. Let's continue to read. It's a lot. Oh shoot, go away. So again, like, it's not even that bad. Her proposal was shot down. Proposals are shot down all the time, you fucking loser. Nipper confirmed that that the sentence of events she got so confirmed. Three-part project. Her review of the idea and Krosky's language was a routine element of her duties as a professor. Every final project proposal has to be approved by the instructor. Of course, that's how this shit works. Hey, Gig. Nice to have you here. Eventually, according to Nipper, Kowalski asked to focus on a different topic, with Nipper even offering an extended deadline. So she changed what topic she wanted to do, and then was given an extension. My God. Unacceptable based on the community. Afterwards, Nipper was informed by the Office of Gender, Equity and Inclusion that Kowalski, I've been saying that name, Kowalski, had submitted a freedom of speech claim, which is a complaint any student can submit if they believe that the faculty member violated the University of Cincinnati's free speech policy. Asked about the investigation into Kowalski's complaint, said they would. Okay. Although Nipper said she agrees classrooms should be places for debate and discussion, that ends when you are intentionally or unintentionally participating in systemic harm of any kind. There you go. She cites transphobia and white supremacy as examples. Yeah, exactly what I mean. If you're going to come in here and fucking propose writing a paper about how, white people are inherently more intelligent than black people, you're probably going to get shot down. And it's not because of free speech. It's because you're racist. Similar incidents have occurred in the past. Nipper said she, who has taught the UC since 2021, when a student uses an outdated terminology, Nipper says she feels it is necessary to correct those mistakes. Not a 0 for the course, just a 0 for the assignment. Boo-hoo. Just the amount of entitlement from these fucking people. I will happily regrade. You're not going to have any late penalties. This is unacceptable based on the community, the marginalized individuals that are at stake, and also the foundations of the course. And so now the studies about trans athletes have yielded different results. Trans woke mob professor. So have used Crosscut to further amplify arguments about transgender athletes and received liberal elite on the perceived liberal elitism of college. The left forces you to obey them, says the Chiron below the Fox News anchor Jesse Waters. Oh my God. woke professor, that's leftist politics, and terms like biological female are rejected by the major medical groups representing doctors and psychologists. Gender is part of a spectrum and goes beyond biology. These groups argue exactly. It's a white supremacist transphobic dog whistle. That's what it is. So this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this person has barely suffered any kind of injustice at all. They proposed a topic for their project, which feeds into ridiculous transphobic nonsense that's prevalent and very harmful at the moment. In this particular moment, it's feeding into that kind of thing, reinforcing marginalizing ideas about trans people. And their professor said no. And instead of taking the feedback, taking the criticism, and evolving their ideas a little bit, they had a whinge about it, claiming that their free speech had been violated. But they were given an extension. They were offered. Hold on, what was the thing here? There's no late penalties. Like, this person's been given all the fucking opportunities out of this. It's not like they were instantly shut down and kicked out of the course or something. Their proposal for a fucking transphobic paper was rejected. Don't be a bigot and it'll be fine. Like, how difficult is that? It's not a free speech issue, it's a you issue, you fucking piece of shit. Anyway, I've got to keep going. I was going to look at this, but I can't be bothered now. Fucking can't be bothered. What's next? Oh, this one here. This is pretty good. This is on the Jordan Peterson subreddit. The Jordan Peterson people are upset about colours again. Always got to be upset about colours. Woke garbage. I'm just imagining like a garbage bin, and you walk past it and it's just like trans liberation. The new Spider-Man movie tries to subconsciously sneak in the hold on. New Spider-Man movie tries to subconsciously sneak in the trans to children. What does that mean? Spider-Gwen is trans. Damn straight. What does that mean? Sneak in the trans. We're sneaking in the trans, guys. Yep. So much for calling us paranoid for saying there are hidden agendas. I don't understand. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. But how? Okay, so I've said this before and I'll say it again. How do colors, or how does any of this stuff, how does the representation of trans people, how does the representation of gay people, how does talking about trans people, how does colors, how does a pride flag, how does any of this stuff, how does it turn kids LGBTQ? Like, what is the mechanism by which that happens? If a kid sees this movie, what happens? Okay, so they could see that trans people just exist and that's okay, I suppose. What else? What else could happen? There must be something. There must be something that, I mean, because these people are saying that that there's a hidden agenda, and they're sneaking in the trans. And well, let's have a look at some of the comments. What do they say? No one can take this seriously, right? Trans is gay. It's not subconscious anymore. Hollywood is overtly pushing the ideology on audiences, especially children. I don't think these people know what ideology means either. It's just as a side note. Okay, so hold on, what we got here? Yeah, sure, the color palette plus the actual flag and slogan protects trans kids in the movie, plus Disney saying in their own meetings that they're trying to increase LGBTQ characters. Surely this all means nothing and it's just a coincidence. Why does that matter? I don't get it. Like, what does this do? Like, okay, so this is bad. This here is bad, apparently. The thing that Disney is doing, the color palette. So yes, they're using the trans flag color palette. They have the slogan "Protect Trans Kids." Okay, and they're saying in their own meetings that they want to increase LGBTQ characters. Okay, so they're going to be more fucking gay characters, and they're saying they want to protect trans kids, and they're they're there's a color palette. What does it do? I don't understand. Like, I can't. Like, it's even hard to come up with a joke because I don't understand what the fuck they mean. It's got like how. What is it gonna do? Oh no, there's colors in the movie, and there's trans people in the movie. Like, even if it was like what if even if it was just like a dude on screen being like, be trans. Hey, you, Daniel, you're a girl now. Like, is every kid who's Daniel who sees that movie gonna be trans now? Is that how it works? I don't understand. Please, somebody tell me. I've been asking this for a while now. I would really love it if any one of you fucking pieces of shit out there, if you know how it is that these trans colors in the movie turn people trans, please tell me. I'm begging you. I'm so willing to learn. How does it work? What is it? How? Thanks. Oh my god. Next. So much for I can't speak. So much for supporting parental rights. This is Ben Shapiro here, a big supporter of parental rights on the Toilet Paper USA subreddit. So much for supporting parental rights, I guess. Lol. That was me using a sarcastic voice on the actual based person. So sorry. Sorry, Snoo5218. I did not mean to make fun of you. But here, yeah. Okay, so first of all, Ben Shapiro is here retweeting a Nazi because in wokeness is a Nazi. Blocked me on Twitter before I was banned for my free speech being taken away. My free speech was taken away. I was censored on YouTube. It's a travesty against humanity, and I need to be vindicated. But here we have Ben Shapiro retweeting a Nazi, so that's interesting. Wonder why he's doing that. End wokeness. Megan Fox has 3 sons that are all dressed like girls. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Man, I wish I could do like things with it. Sure, it's just a Hold on, wait. Water. Sure, it's just a coincidence. What? Yeah, no, I can't really do it fast enough. Okay, go back. That way. There we go. Okay. Sure, it's just a coincidence. There we go. That works. Okay. Now, dressed like girls. I just want to have a look at these. I mean, I kind of want to get the original tweet because hold on, let me see. End wokeness, Megan Fox. Here we go. Has 3 sons that are all dressed like girls. Oh, come on. Yes, I know that I'm fucking blocked by End wokeness because he's snowflake piece of shit. Let's just go. They're all dressed like girls. Here, not now. Oh shoot. Hold on. I need to change the. Sorry. Please hold. Here we go. So here's Megan Fox's boys that are dressed like girls. I mean, I suppose the one on the left there, strong girls, kind of looks like he/she, they are dressed like a girl. But maybe they wanted to be dressed like that. But the one in the middle there and the one on the right, they look like bogans. But so I think the real issue here is that Megan Fox has dressed her kids like bogans. That's the real fucking problem here. So there you go. So there's another one of Megan Fox's kids being dressed like girls. Again, the one on the right there, which I think was the one on the left before. Dressing a bit more femme, but good for them. Maybe they enjoy, you know. So what? And then the ones on the left there, I think they've just got long hair. What's the problem, Nazi man? I don't see the problem. I do see a problem with them dressing like bogans. That's unacceptable. Can't be. What have we got? Most of Hollywood actors and actresses were installed and still controlled by the government or their handlers that are assets of the government. Assets of Satan. My God. Twitter is special. Anyway, so that's that. And then Ben Shapiro's come along and said, hold on. Go away, Nazi. Ben Shapiro's come along and said, the genetic bottleneck in Hollywood is one of the greatest mysteries of evolutionary biology. It's a social contagion fostered by fucked up parents. One of the two. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. So there's a whole... I just knocked my knee on the thing and then everything went sideways. There we go. I'm back. I don't know what they're trying to say here. I mean, I kind of do. I think they're trying to say that, again, they can... This Megan Fox person is turning their kids trans, I suppose. Maybe that's what they're trying to say. That Megan Fox, this person from Hollywood, so because Hollywood's bad. Hollywood... just so you know, is like code for the Jews, basically. Yeah. But then what do we got here? So Megan Fox is trying to turn their kids trans, maybe, or maybe Megan Fox is just being supportive of her kids, who want to dress and express themselves in the way that they want to. But that's never considered. And then the genetic bottleneck in Hollywood is one of the great mysteries of evolutionary biology. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to say here. Or it's a social contagion fostered by fucked up parents. One of the two. I don't know what he's trying to say. I don't know. Either way, who cares? Let the kids dress how they fucking want to dress, you weirdos trying to control other people's kids. Always it is. They're always just trying to control other people's kids. No, fuck you. That's one thing they never take into account when you're talking about trans kids and stuff like that. You know, they're like they automatically go that, oh, the parents are trying to force their woke ideology on them or something or other. Have they ever considered that the kids have their own autonomy, that their own, that they have made these decisions themselves, and their parents are just supporting them? Have they ever considered that? Of course not. They're not, because they think kids are stupid little pieces, fucking automatons that only do whatever their parents say, or that, will be turned trans by the colors in the Spider-Man movie. Okay, here we go. This is just has God intended straight pride. It's natural and it's worked for thousands of years. And You can make babies. Um, the you can make baby. So I think I've said this before though, but like, sorry, I've got like a sun directly in my eyeball right there. Thanks a lot, sun. Get out of here. You know that things like surrogacy and IVF and various other things can happen, right? So like if everyone was gay, say that everybody in the world was gay, they could still make babies. Could still happen. Could still happen. Not everyone in the world is gay, so there's no need to worry. You fucking weirdos. Anyway, I'm running really long on time, so I'm just going to kind of shoot through a couple of these. So this is the consent thing that comes up a lot with puberty blockers, or like transaffirming care and things like that. They conflate the consent to to undergo medical procedures in various ways with sexual consent. They're not the same thing. They're not the same thing. So what do we got here? Protect trans kids. Puberty blockers are a human right. Children cannot consent. So yeah, that they are saying that children cannot consent to sexual, stuff, which is true. Children cannot consent. That's literally the thing. But that does not mean that then kids can't consent to medical stuff. Kids go on medications all the time because they get consent through their parents. This is not the same thing. They're not talking about getting boned. That sounded weird saying that. I apologize. But it's not the same thing. You fucking morons. But they're trying to conflate it. But in the meantime, they're also trying to legalize child marriage. So, yeah. Anyway, next. Let's have a look. Apparently the definition... I can't be bothered with this fucking Nazi piece of shit. I also can't be bothered with this Nazi piece of shit. Here we go. This is a good one. I see this. It pops up every couple of days, if I'm honest. This particular meme. Dear trans community. Facts! Dear trans community, don't tell me I have to accept you for who you are when you couldn't accept yourself for who you were. A checkmate, liberals. I just logicked you. The whole thing about being trans is coming to understand who you really are, not the person you were assigned to be. Like I talked about this just before. This sun is just annoying the shit out of me. I'm gonna go down like this. Yeah, okay, I'm here. So you're assigned a gender at birth. You have an identity imposed on you, which you did not choose. So it's not who you were. It was something that someone else told you were. And you, as a trans person, or, specifically for myself, I was always non-binary. I just didn't know or have the words to describe it, or as I came to understand what being non-binary meant, came to empathize or sympathize with other people's experiences as non-binary, those things like that, I was able to put into words what it actually meant and was able to come to identify with that thing that I had always been. So, yes, I didn't accept who I was, but it wasn't who I ever was. It was something else that other people had told me I am. Let me think of an analogy. It's as if someone, if we want, let me think. The only thing that's coming to mind is like a person who wants to be like a musician or a comedian or like in musicals or whatever, and the whole time for their life they're just like mwah, mwah, or like the dancing dude from Footloose, who's just frustrated with the fact that he can't dance, but everyone's been telling him that he's not allowed to dance, and then he comes to accept, and he's able to dance, and that's coming to accept who he actually is, a dancing man. That made no sense. But this meme makes no sense. So again, just real quick, dear trans community, don't tell me I have to accept you for who you are when you couldn't accept yourself for who you were. They were never that, and they're asking you to understand that they were never that, and the thing that they are telling you that they are now is what they have always been. Also, stop using Lisa for your transphobic bullshit. Yeah, piece of shit. Last thing, I always like to end on something cute, and I found this cute little video of a doggo. Thanks for joining in, those of you who did, which I believe is some random geek. Thank you for being here, some random geek. It's nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. Anyway, here's the dog video. Replay. Oh, hold on. The caption is when it's time to go home from the park. So the dog has been at the park, and now he doesn't want to go home.
Sali. Ginger. Sali in macchina.
He's like, no, I don't. Don't fucking.
Dai.
Don't you fucking pull me. No, I don't want to.
Ginger.
And the dog's name's Ginger. What a fucking king. I love that so much. You do you, Ginger. You stand your ground. Don't let this mean human tell you what to do. I love it. Anyway, over here. Thanks for having me. It's been so lovely to chat. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go and write some stuff for my thesis. Love you balls. Bye.